Happy New Year's Eve. We're going to talk about community growth on school. So, if you're building a school community, start to wonder why engagement feels a little bit inconsistent or why people just aren't posting. I want to reframe something right away that's really important. Most communities, they don't struggle because the content isn't good enough. They struggle because the environment doesn't feel safe enough. We're going to talk about the psychology of it. So, this is something community psychology has shown us over and over again. People don't engage where they feel watched, pressured, or unsure of even what the rules are from what it is to belong. So, they engage where they feel seen, oriented, and allowed to show up somewhat imperfectly. We're all human. A lot of creators are taught that growth comes from posting more lessons, more value, more frameworks. But information alone isn't what's going to build the community. It's the interaction. And interaction is a nervous system experience, not just like an intellectual one. So when somebody joins your school community, their brain is immediately scanning for cues. Is this place is it competitive or collaborative? Am I expected to perform? Will I look like a fool if I post anything? Are people actually responding to each other or just broadcasting? What is the feel of the community? So, if those questions don't get fully answered quickly, most people just start to quietly disengage, not because they don't care, but because their brain doesn't quite feel oriented or safe enough to participate. Some of it could be because of the community or past traumas, but one of the most effective shifts that you can make as a community owner is designed for response instead of perfection. So that means you stop asking, what should I teach today? And start asking, what is the smallest, easiest way someone could respond to this post? And low effort engagement builds momentum, a one-word answer, a quick reflection, a simple, this resonated. These aren't shallow interactions, they're trust building reps. Each response teaches the brain, I can show up here and nothing bad happens. Another mistake that I often see is assuming engagement kind of must look loud, but healthy communities aren't built only on the most vocal members. They're built by the quiet ones also, the observers, the processors, the people who just need time. So when you explicitly normalize partial participation, something interesting starts to happen. When people are told they don't have to post, the pressure drops. And when pressure drops, participation actually eventually increases. And this is especially true in educational or support-based communities. Those of you who know me, I have a mental health community. If you'd like to join that, type mental health in the comments. I've also been an educator for over 2 decades. And it is true, when people feel less pressured, where they feel comfortable, that's when they start to open up. And you'll see that in relationships too. So people don't like to feel vulnerable, and it can be difficult. They need to feel safe to do that. So you don't need everyone posting every day, but you do need people trusting that when they do speak, it matters. So make sure you respond to people. And this is something that I'd like to share with you. Most platforms, they don't talk about enough. What you reward shapes your culture. So if the only things you celebrate are big wins, milestones, or polished success stories, you're unintentionally creating a performance-based environment. And that can work short term with the hype, but it quietly pushes out the very people who could become your most loyal members. It's almost like bragging, and they don't want to continue on with it. They'll celebrate the small, they'll celebrate your large wins, but they want to be seen and heard too. So the strongest school communities, they reward behaviors, not just outcomes. Curiosity, consistency, helping another member, asking a thoughtful question. These are the actions that create belonging and retention over time. So another expert level shift that you can do is just understanding that your role is not to just post content. It's to kind of model regulation, and your tone is what's going to set the emotional temperature of the space. If you're rushed over polished or constantly pushing, your members are going to start to mirror that. But when you show up grounded, clear, and human, people start to relax. And relaxed people are those people that will eventually engage. So this is why clarity is what becomes charisma in community leadership. Clear norms, clear expectations, clear reassurance that it's okay to be new, unsure, or imperfect. These things will reduce cognitive load and decision fatigue, two of the biggest barriers to participation within the online community. So if you're wondering why a strategy didn't work the way that you thought it would, it's not a failure. That's data. Take that and adjust accordingly. Communities are living systems. Every post teaches you something about what your audience needs more of, or sometimes even less of. And here's something I want every school community to know, and I want you to hear it clearly. Communities don't fail because people don't care. They fail because people don't feel safe enough to participate. If you design your community with the truth in mind, growth becomes more sustainable, engagement starts to become more genuine, and leadership will start to feel less exhausting. You won't feel like you're just running on a hamster wheel with nothing to show for it. So if you're building or even rebuilding your school community, don't start by asking how to be louder. Start by asking how to be clearer, how to be safer, how to make it easier for someone to take the smallest possible step towards connection. And that's where the real growth it starts to begin. So happy New Year to you guys. A countdown, less than 24 hours to 2026. This is your year to make your school community the greatest it can be. So if you are looking to start a new community, link is in the bio and I can get you set up, or comment I'm in and I'll get you started right away. We're here one day at a time. We'll get through this.